Hey, here's another Dino Riders toy review for you Dino Rider fans. Right now I have the Saurolophus from the Rulon side. In my opinion, really one of the better figures of the Dino Riders toy line. Unfortunately, it's also one of the higher priced ones. If you're looking for this guy on eBay, mint in box or mint in sealed box, you're really looking at prices above $100, so really more for the die-hard fans. But if you are willing to dish out that money, you will not be disappointed because this guy is really fantastic. Just even the color distinguishes it from the other dinosaurs. Most of the Dino Rider toys really had bland colors like grayish, greenish, brownish colors. This guy has this red and black that contrasts well together. Has the beige underside as well. Just the figure itself, just looking at it, I love the colors. And it has this gimmick, just the dinosaur alone. As you can see, in terms of posability, the arms can't move individually, but you do see that they have joints here, so it can move, and as you were seeing, the head kind of moves with it. Another joint here, but you can't really move them separately, right? The legs, the arms, but together you can move them, and here's the gimmick. So you can actually put the Saurolophus on all fours like this. Right? Or you can make it stand on its hind legs as if it was scouting further on, or if it's kind of reaching for vegetation. That was really cool because in both positions I actually find it looks good. And I was kind of expecting it to be like, well, okay, maybe the standing looks pretty cool, but probably it'll lose some of that appeal when it's actually on all fours because it's difficult to design something that looks good in many positions. But they designed the mechanism quite well, that the head moves along with the arms and the legs, so that when it's going up, well, the head kind of looks forward, but then when it's going down, it'll still look forward, right? And not kind of tilting downwards. So that was really cool, and that's part of the reason why I really like this figure. So that's for the figure itself, the dinosaur itself. But even the armor in this guy was quite nice, and I would actually say that even the figure that rode this dinosaur was really cool as well. Alright, so let's start with the brain box for this figure. It's got this purple brain box, rather simplistic, although it does have some funky designs here. A few little spiky stuff here and there. Let's just put that on the Saurolophus. So there you go, now it's brain box and under Rulon control. The harness I'm not gonna dismantle completely because it's quite fragile, and I'm just afraid of breaking it, but I can still show you the individual parts. So you have this part down here that separates. This one has the knives in the bottom there. You can kind of retract them or you can point them forward. I'll show you that when I actually have the whole thing on the dinosaur. But this whole piece separates. As you can see, really just kind of it just hooks on like that. Same thing for the other side. This has a main body ring over here, the main armor right there. Has this gun that's attached to this kind of like a train on like tracks, so it can move the whole 180. The seat is attached to this connector here, and the seat can move in various positions. I'll show you that quickly right now. So you can move it like this. Right, but the way it's connected, you can also move it left to right. So really a lot of posability with this figure, and that's what I mean by it's one of the better figures, because just the design of it is really nice. So let me put that on the dinosaur itself. Let's see. Right, so that's the way it is. Let me just lock this on. Right there. So now it's secure on your Saurolophus. So as I was showing you before, you could put the knives forward like that, so that when it's rearing on its hind limbs, you can put it like that. Or you can retract it, so that when it's on all fours, it doesn't touch the ground. Whoops. Let me just place it like that for now. So again, the seat, and that's kind of why you need the seat to move, right? Because if your dinosaur's on all fours, you obviously want the figure to be looking forward as well. If your dinosaur is on its hind legs, then you want the figure to be able to face forward like that. Oh, and the cannon here obviously rotates 360. I'm not gonna move it because it's on a very fragile peg right there. The gun tips on this figure also were different from the other ones. Really, not the same as like the gun tips on the like the Styracosaurus and whatnot, which is a very common one, or like the Pteranodon and the Quetzalcoatlus, not Pteranodon, the Quetzalcoatlus gun tips. An original design right here. Really cool. This gun actually is supposed to rotate 360, but mine was broken as it connected to the peg, and so I had to glue it on, so I can no longer rotate it 360, which is unfortunate, because the thing is that when it was on its hind limbs, you could really push this down, move the seat over there, and also this gun would rotate horizontally. So I can't do that anymore. I opted for this position just because the way I positioned the Saurolophus when I have it on my shelves is like this, and I just thought it looked cooler that way rather than pointing down. But yeah, if you get one that's it's not broken at all, you'll have an even cooler figure, honestly. The other thing is that this whole gun can actually rotate like this, so you can do the whole 180, which is really cool. I think this was the way it was supposed to be, is that when it's on all fours, you can put it on top here. Again, a really cool gimmick. I don't think this was a gimmick that's reproduced in any of the other Dino Rider toys. So really unique to the Saurolophus, and a great feature of that. Just to show you a 360 here with the whole armor. A fantastic looking figure, honestly. It's unfortunate it's more expensive than the others, but it really is a great figure, and I really don't regret getting this guy, especially since I didn't actually pay that much for him, because I got him from a lot, I think, and I kind of just completed the pieces eventually. So enough of the dinosaur. Let me just put him back there. Let me show you the figure that came with him, and it's the Rulon Lokus. So, a completely new mold. Well, not completely new mold. Actually, I think he is a completely new mold, because even the legs are not the same design as the older Rulons. Like, if you take a look at Antor here, you can see that the legs are slimmer on this guy. The torso even the torso is different, as you can see from the collar here. If you look at Antor, this little yellow triangle cuts off the black here, whereas this one does not cut it off right away. The color is actually red here. There's a bit of red on top of that yellow triangle, and then eventually you have the neck portion of the figure. Very minor details, but still kind of nice of Tycho to have actually created a whole new mold instead of just reusing parts. And this figure is really nice because it has like a mesh-like texture on his sleeves, so it's not just smooth. Really, a lot of texturing on this guy. I really like this figure. I know that's a lot of reallys, but really, he's a really nice figure. The eye here is a bit strange. It's this big red eyeball with like black dots. It has these kind of horn. I'm not sure what animal this guy is supposed to represent, but nonetheless, whatever he is. Oh, locust, so maybe he's like a grasshopper or something. I don't know. But cool looking figure. A lot of you might say he's ugly, but I think he's pretty cool. And let's just put him on the figure here. Let's just give him a seat. Be careful not to break it. As with all Dino Rider toys, this figure is very fragile, unfortunately. Alright, so here we go. Got Lokus on there, gave him a set of binoculars, and I gave him this huge bazooka. These plastic weaponry is actually from the Series 1 toys, whereas this figure is from the Series 2 line. So, bit of an anachronism right there, but still, I thought it looked pretty cool that way. So this is really your Saurolophus, fully equipped. Really great figure. This video contains a lot of reallys, because it is a fantastic figure, in all honesty. As I said, one of the more expensive ones, but if you're willing to spend that money, you will not regret it, because it is a great figure. Just the color of it, the design of the armor, very unique. So don't hesitate to pick it up. If you're a diehard collector, this is a piece that you need in your collection. Alright? So one last thing about the Saurolophus is he's got this cool rock trap, they call it. So as you can see, it looks like a boulder. And it's actually, you actually see this in the front of the box, I think, in the artwork. You know, it looks like a simple boulder, but as you can see here, it does open up. And let me show you how that works. Is that on the back here you have this tab, and when you press on this tab, see that? This thing pops out. Inside there we got Lokus, and he's got this gun turret, and so it's kind of like a little trap for the Valorians. They'll walk by the boulder, just be like, you know, that's just a boulder. Then this guy comes out and starts shooting at him. So the design is actually really cool. On the bottom here you just have this rubber band that you can put on. I obviously had to replace mine with just some other rubber band, because as we all know, with the years the rubber bands usually dissolve. So yeah, I mean, it's a simple mechanism, but very effective. I think just the idea is pretty cool. You put them back in there, and then again, bam. So really a cool little design by Tycho, cool little addition to the Saurolophus toy. So there you have it. That's really the video review for the Saurolophus. Let me just put everything back on the screen here. So you got Saurolophus and his rock trap right there. There you have it, guys. Take care.